Hey, Coach Marvell said, everybody had the same feeling coming out of that game, being disappointed with the special teams performance. Did you see that coming at all? Because obviously that group has played pretty well for most of the season.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it coming, but the two cover units, probably did a solid job. Our kickoff cover and our punt cover, but we got to impact games, and we didn't impact games in the return game, and that led to us not winning the hidden yardage battle, which really hasn't happened this year. So, stuff to absolutely clean up. Definitely more on the return side though than on the cover side. Although there's things in all areas that we can be better at for sure.
John, I guess earlier in the season you were pretty confident that come November the team would be improving. We would see that kind of progress. And I know it was just one game. Kenny pointed out the fact that even though the losses are starting to kind of accumulate, he does see the offense getting better. I mean, for your units and defensive ends or special teams, I mean, what are you seeing? You think that's tangible improvement?
In some respects, you'd have to talk unit by unit on special teams, but I think our kickoff coverage, the guys as they continue to get more reps, continues to be a pretty solid unit for us. I think we've rolled some new guys in terms of the ends on the punt coverage, but I thought Ja'Kai Douglas has gotten better every week he's been out there, and Alex Mastromano, I think, is continuing to grow, so I think there's some positive there. I haven't really liked our development from a return game perspective, but there's a lot of factors that go into that as to why. In terms of the defensive ends, I think even though it doesn't always reflect from a statistical standpoint, I do see some progress from guys. Is it where we need to be? It's not even really close, but I do see us heading in the right direction. And as much as anything, I like the mindset and approach that a lot of guys in the room have. The results aren't there right now, and everyone can see that. But the things that are happening, in the meeting rooms and on the practice field, I see a buy-in from a lot of the key guys on this football team, and that is a step in the direction we want to take it.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned the buy-in from some of your guys in the room. Obviously, you guys moved Warner from linebacker to defensive end on the Fox position. How did that go for you them in his first game? And we get good production from Leonard. He was in the game.
Yeah, no, he's Leonard since for the several weeks that he's been with us has been working hard, buying in. It's a lot to process and a lot to do in a short amount of time from a fundamental standpoint. But I liked what he did in the game the other day in terms of effort and physicality at the line of scrimmage. There's a lot of things that we got to continue to develop with Leonard, but the want to and the great attitude and just wanting to be part of something is there for Leonard. And I'm happy to work with him, and I'm glad we have him there because I do think he can help us up front.
I guess two of the three coaches we've spoken to already can relate the story about Asante coming to you and wanting to be on the punt coverage unit. Since you had the conversation, I'm curious, has he done that before? What kind of led to that?
Asante obviously is very prideful in his performance and the team's performance, and we tried because of some limited numbers at corner going into the week. We tried to limit all those guys' roles on special teams. So Jarvis didn't play his normal role on special teams. Asante didn't play his normal role. But at the end of the game, when we were in a couple punt situations, it happened on a couple occasions, but I put him in on the last punt. Asante wanted to get in there and help. He said he thought he could provide something from a punt coverage aspect that would help the team. And even though he had already played a bunch of reps and the game was already out of hand, he wanted to go be part of it. And I do think that is a positive sign when you have older veteran players that have enough buy-in and enough pride in what we're doing from a special teams perspective that they think they can help. And that's what it's going to take because as you look at some key contributors on special teams throughout most of the year. Some of those guys are in different roles. Some of those guys aren't playing as much as they were before. So you need everybody to step up and a collective buy-in to continue to happen. And I do feel like that's the case. So, when you do have a buy-in and a collective pride in what you're doing, it will ultimately lead to success.
And then just, you mentioned the return game earlier and a variety of factors. Is it not consistently getting blocked up well enough? Or do you guys need more from the return guy themselves?
I mean, you would have to evaluate each return kind of independently because, especially early in the year, I thought we had some blocked up really well that we just didn't hit the way it needed to be hit at a returner spot. I didn't think we blocked it really well the other day, so you could kind of point at a lot of different things that have led to some inconsistency, especially on the kickoff return unit. But I didn't think we did a good enough job blocking to even get the return started the other day. That wasn't necessarily, I didn't feel like that was the case throughout the course of the year, but that was the case on Saturday.